Before we get into today's segment, as most of you already know, I'm no longer ever allowed back on YouTube. Forever. So the Daily Show is now here on BitChute. This is the main channel with the Red Elephants logo. This is the only channel we'll be posting on every single day. And then live Monday through Friday on DLive.tv/Vincent James. Link in the description if you'd like to follow over there to get notified for when I am live streaming. And if you'd like access to all of the exclusive content, access to the Discord, and access to all of the full-length live streams after we are live, you can get those on either Patreon or Subscribestar at the middle tier. They're both basically the same platform, but the entire show now relies completely on your support. District of Columbia Mayor Muriel Bowser said she is worried about a race war in the U.S. because of violent clashes between protesters and police in her city this summer. What I'm worried about is this country descending into a race war, Bowser said at a news conference Monday. And I'm worried about the continued incitement of violence from leadership who should be focused on bringing communities together.
I remember telling you people, when white people get fed up, they gonna fight back. And when they fight back, it won't be pretty. You don't want to call them racist and want to call them every name under God's green earth. That kid in Kenosha is just the start. They gonna get fed up. And when they get fed up, they outnumber you.
But it's very interesting to me that Mayor Muriel Bowser is concerned about a potential race war in the country and wants to stop this rhetoric about black versus white and Black Lives Matter and stuff like this, when it was the mayor of D.C. who recently announced that she wants to rename the Washington Monument, among others. I really think the Democrats are trying to throw the game now. Has anyone seen any unusual activity in the betting markets? And this is from a Washington Post article, which says that D.C. committee recommends stripping the names of Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Francis Scott Key, and others from city government buildings. A committee reporting to D.C. Mayor Muriel E. Bowser recommends renaming dozens of public schools, parks, and government buildings in the nation's capital after studying the historical namesakes' connections to slavery and oppression. The honorees, whom the committee says should not have public works named after them, include Presidents Thomas Jefferson, James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, Zachary Taylor, and Woodrow Wilson, Revolutionary leader Benjamin Franklin, inventor Alexander Graham Bell, and national anthem writer Francis Scott Key. Remember the famous photos that were going around during the George Floyd riots just a couple of months ago of the statue, the monument of Francis Scott Key, that it was taken down completely. And on the base of the statue, they wrote, "Kill Whitey, kill all colonizers." Quote, we believe strongly that all District of Columbia-owned public spaces, facilities, and commemorative works should only honor those individuals who exemplify those values such as equity, opportunity, and diversity that D.C. residents hold dear. The committee's chairs, Bowser advisor Beverly Perry and Public Library Director Richard Reyes Gavilan, wrote in a letter introducing their report. The recommendations could begin a lengthy process of deciding which buildings to rename across the city. Bowser convened the committee after large-scale Black Lives Matter protests began in the district following the death of George Floyd in late May. At the time, she said she would support renaming Woodrow Wilson High School, a prominent public school whose name has long been a contentious subject among students and alumni. The mayor said she hoped the working group would come up with a comprehensive list of D.C. government-owned buildings that might merit renaming. Concerned about a race war, stoking more racial conflict, stoking more racial division. But it's okay because black nationalists can have schools named after them, but presidents can't. Look at the schools named after Marcus Garvey, or the streets named after Marcus Garvey. Look at the schools and streets named after Malcolm X. Look up who these people are. These people were black nationalists. These people were black nationalists. Look at the schools named after Muhammad Ali. Look at what he said. Look at what he said in regards to segregation, how he was pretty explicitly against integration, forced integration. He talked about how he doesn't hate anybody, but he wants his kids to look like him. He doesn't hate anybody, but he wants to live by people who look like him. Imagine if there was a school named after a white nationalist. Imagine if there was a street name named after a white nationalist. We can't even have street names or schools or monuments named after former presidents of the United States of America. They want you dead, and they want your history erased. This is what this is about. The slippery slope example is 100% true in regards to aspects of the culture war. 100% true in regards to aspects of the culture war. Just think about how this all started in terms of the monuments, the statues coming down. This all started with a very prominent conservative monument being taken down. And I said this a couple of years ago, that this will not stop with Confederate monuments. This will not stop with this one particular Confederate monument. This will go on and on and on until every statue, every monument of anyone who is of mostly European descent is completely taken down. A lot of you recall that I said this. In fact, those videos are still up on BitChute. I have 800 videos up on BitChute from my YouTube channel that automatically uploaded to my BitChute channel. So if you're interested in watching some of the videos that were deleted by YouTube after they terminated my account, they're pretty much almost 1,000 videos are up on my BitChute channel, bitchute.com/theredelephants. We're approaching 40,000 subs over there. But like I said, they want you dead, and they want your history erased. They want to look at this through the lens of a black country, or through the lens of a diverse country. But this was set up as a white country. Whites built this country. Whites founded this country. Whites are the ones who made this country great. If you want to go live if you don't want to assimilate into Western culture, which is also translated into whiteness, right? The aspects of whiteness. We talked about this from the Smithsonian Museum. If you don't want to assimilate into the culture that we have set up and assimilate into the country that we have built, which is the greatest country on the face of this planet, then you could pick up and you could move to a country that sees things through the lens of a black country. Or you can pick up and you can move to a country that sees things through the lens of a Hispanic country or whatever. You can pick up and move to places like Haiti or the Republic of Congo. Have fun. Have fun as they're decapitating each other with machetes over there. You can pick up and move to Liberia. Hey, they have our Constitution. They have our Constitution verbatim. Turns out it doesn't work. Turns out America is not just an idea. Turns out the nation of America is its people, is its culture, is its traditions, set up by white people. But if you hate white people so much, and if you hate our culture, and if you don't want to assimilate, if you want to create your own distinct culture, and you want to make that distinct culture the majority culture in the country, then you can pick up and move, and you can go to a country like Haiti, or the Republic of Congo, or Liberia, or one of these countries. My goal is to eventually become a powerhouse of truth. That is why it is imperative that you check the links in the description below and go to either Patreon and Subscribestar and support us for at least the cost of a cup of coffee a month. We already have writers writing for TheRedElephants.com, but we'd like to bring on more in the near future. By the way, at TheRedElephants.com, you can also find t-shirts, hats, and other products. Check the links in the description below. It helps us out tremendously.